employees have accepted the resignation offer, but that's below the target number. Those who do not take the offer could lose their jobs. And as you can imagine, this is creating a lot of fear and uncertainty. Joining us now is John Hatton with the National Active and Retired Federal Employees Association. John, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
What are employees feeling right now?
A lot of uncertainty, as you mentioned, some fear, confusion. It's been a very difficult time with all the uncertainty and actions being taken by the Trump administration. These deferred resignation offers themselves are legally uncertain. The terms of the offer have, in essence, changed from changes in their frequently asked questions. There's now a lawsuit challenging the basis for this offer. So unclear legal authority, unclear terms to some of this. And then if you decide not to take this offer, unclear kind of what legal rights you have going forward. We believe there are still substantial rights and what the administration and agencies are intending to do with the size of the workforce.
When it comes to career and career choices, people should take their time to make decisions. But this deadline came very quickly. Were people, would you say, forced to choose whether or not to take this?
I don't want to say forced, but certainly pressured. I mean, the email itself is saying, if you don't take this, we are looking to reduce the workforce, either by using a reduction in force procedure or by turning people into at-will employees through some of their processes in terms of the executive order, ignoring the statutory rights of senior executive service members, or trying to reclassify federal employees into a new schedule. We think those things may not withstand full legal challenge, even if some may. So I think people are being pressured to take this as an easier way for the administration to reduce the size of the federal workforce, which we believe is problematic for, in terms of how far they're intending to go, problematic for democracy and problematic for government operations on behalf of the American people.
Well, can you speak to the broader implications of what this does to the future of public service?
Yeah, I think this is potentially undermining democracy. If Republicans and Democrats in Congress get together and pass a law and say we want to spend money to combat wildfires or provide emergency assistance to people having wildfires in LA, or people affected by floods in North Carolina, or children that are starving in the United States for some reason, and an administration simply, or any other really purpose that Congress says and legally is allowed to appropriate money. And if the administration says, actually, we don't really want to do that, eventually at the end of the day, we're not going to spend that money on that project that Congress said we should, that results in a problem. And if they go around that by saying we're just going to not have employees carrying out this mission because we don't think it should be carried out, that's undermining democracy. That's undermining the rule of law. And it's troubling if you rely on those services, depending on what they decide to cut or what they don't decide to cut. And it's troubling for the basis that we vote for representatives to debate these issues in Congress and make those decisions and come to a decision, and then rely on the executive branch to carry out what Congress directs.
For decades, getting a federal job meant security. You would have a job, you would have your benefits, and you would be able to provide for your family with the money you would make. If you go to the private sector, that was seen as a little bit different. How do you think this is going to change people's view of going into the federal workforce?
It certainly makes it less secure. There's a large change here, and you used to be able to rely a little bit more on not large and unexpected changes in that job, and so that may create a premium needed to pay federal employees to come to these jobs, because if you're not sure that your job will be there because a new administration comes in, or policies change radically. Based on kind of the pendulum swings in politics, that's not as good of a job. That's not a stable situation for you. So, in order to compensate for that, you may need to see, and you may see pay have to go up just to fill some of these positions at the levels we need.
I was on the website, and kind of the first things, trying to put people's fears at ease, some of the employees. What else are you letting people know that work in the federal government about this time of uncertainty? Are you able to quell any fears?
I think the strategy here at the administration is to create a bit of fear and to put pressure on people to leave. So it makes it easier for them to hit their goals of kind of attacking spending they don't like or attacking government operations they don't like and reducing the workforce in those areas. So I don't want to play into that. I think everybody has their own personal situation to consider. They have their own family, they have their own career path, they may be close to retirement, and this actually may make sense to them. But it's hard to provide clarity when there's underlying uncertainty about the legal authority being used for this offer, and it's now under challenge in courts. The terms of the offer include something that says the agency head can rescind it at any time if they want to. It's unclear if they do rescind it if you go back to work or if you are still resigned. There's waiver of basically every single legal right you have within the terms of the offer as well. So we're urging a lot of caution in accepting it, understanding that people may have personal circumstances that lead them to take it, especially if they are in particularly an area of the government that they see as at the top of the line or the chopping block. Certainly, people where there's been rifts already announced may be more likely to take this than an area of the government that maybe has more bipartisan support in terms of veterans hospitals or veterans care.
There are federal workers across the country, obviously, but in the DMV, we have a very large population. Anything that we'll see different when it comes to the day-to-day life of people in the DMV?
Well, the return to office order, which will go into effect for a lot of agencies at the end of the month or at the beginning of March, I expect will certainly increase traffic in this area. More people needing to go into office full time as opposed to hybrid schedules certainly will mean more cars on the road, more people taking the metro. And so I think that will certainly have an impact, certainly will have an impact on things like childcare in terms of people maybe needing it longer in the morning or later in the afternoon. I mean, those are individual effects for employees, but that will impact the economy and the availability of things like childcare as well.
John Hatton, we appreciate the insight.
Thank you. Thank you so much.